screen actually and stuff. So let me just readjust some things.
Okay.
All right, am I so good?
Yeah, we're recording now. Go for it.
All right, cool. So, howdy everyone. My name is Nathan Lee, and some like quick introductory and like background stuff on my end is that for me personally, I'm currently an art major for video games and illustration at Southern New Hampshire University. I was previously a De Anza College student for 4 years and a former online SJSU member for the game dev club, yours truly. And my like tool of choice, that being of Unreal Engine. No real version in particular, but Unreal 4 is pretty much the time when I jumped onto it. And my development experience has been like comprised of like like 4 years of like mostly just like solo development and like team development as well too. That being like doing like say like the workshops like provided by like the club here, and even some solo projects as well too, like some game jams here and there. So, and my current occupation, I'm still making games. I'm still a student. But right now, I'm actually currently working on like my first full-fledged game project to actually potentially post on Steam. But I'll have my chance to, plug myself in. Um, Hopefully after the workshop. So yeah, so let's get to it. So yeah, so just a few disclaimers here and there and stuff that like I'm gonna be working on this very live, so it's gonna be very fresh of like like working with the Unreal experience. But not only that, I do have like some notes and like references as well too. So forgive me if I like kind of like jump back and forth and stuff. Showing off online and also like multiple monitors and yeah. So yeah. So if you want to try out Unreal Engine, there's some things you're gonna have to download, such as the Epic Games like store launcher and the engine themselves, which they have like there are many different versions over the years and such. Uh, Including their most up and current ones, but you can even like go backwards as well too, like if you really want. But for now, again, so we're going to be focusing on Unreal Engine 5.1.1. So yeah, so once you actually get that downloaded and stuff, if you were to click the launch menu right here, yeah, no, hopefully you should be getting a prompt such as like this is going to be like doing its magic, initializing and all that and such. And then you're actually going to be like shown like the starter templates actually. And they have like a lot to like go over for like any like first time user stuff. It's slightly daunting, but at the same time, like I like to think it's like very like exciting as well too, because like homie, like we got games, right, and stuff, but they even got like film slash video environments, architect, model simulation and stuff, because like Unreal's kind of like crazy like that. But let's just stick to the games right for now. So we got like a few templates. So you got blank, like a straight up like empty clean project with no code, and you even got like a few like example project, like first person, like third person, top down, shooting, even like VR and stuff, and like vehicle simulation as well too. But for now, let's just stick with the most like original like game ever is like first person shooter. I know. So some project defaults actually down here. Like it comes with like two like languages that pretty much focuses. One is like C++, which is like the main go-to like this language like covers, but also like has Blueprint, which is something I'm actually going to go like super heavily into. So that's actually going to be our focus for today. And you have other stuff like target platform, desktop, quality preset. You could either like be maximum scalable, starter content, ray tracing, and all that stuff. Project location, and even the project name. So then I'm just going to call this my project underscore SJSU. All right, let's create, and let it load. And so yeah, so with that mentioned, yeah, it's just gonna do its thing, preparing its shaders, downloading all like the plugins or whatnot and such. But this is pretty much what you're gonna be like introduced for the first time, the interface of Unreal. Everything still seems to be good on my end. So yeah, so this is actually what you're gonna be seeing. You're gonna be seeing like your world, and well, yeah, no, like a lot of like content windows as well too and such. But I'm gonna be going over one thing at a time. Um, in terms of like the importance, right? So down here, you would ideally have like your content browser. So, um, just a quick disclaimer: I have mine set up in a way where it's like kind of like legacy and stuff. Like again, like you see this tab, but then like Unreal's like user interface updated a lot to where you can actually have it like very like customizable to your preferences. So you may have like cases of where you have to like mouse down and then it'll like pop up like user interface and all that such. But mine is pretty much all anchored and stuff. But regardless, it's still like the format of what you expect. But let me actually go into that. So yeah, so again, so you have your game world in here where you can like move around with your like mouse, right click, and WASD to like fly around the world. Content browser is where the bulk of all your assets is going to be, such as your code, like meshes, audios, and stuff. So this is where you're going to be referring to that. To the right of here, basically, like if you're like experienced like with Unity, this essentially will serve as like your inspector, but it's still like it still operates in its own way. But if you want like a frame of reference, that's essentially what this side is going to be and such. But hopefully I'll go more into it a bit. So then you have your stuff like world settings, game mode details of what if I like select this cube, location, scale, rotation, all the bobs and bips of that. And you even have like actors as well too and stuff, like actor, character, pawn and such. If you were to mouse over some of like the icons that like say like shapes, like cubes, spheres, cylinders. It's like like what if I like just like click, hold, drag? Yeah, you can. You can like place actors, geometry into the world. It's like very like drag and drop, drag and drop. So yeah, so you're gonna have a lot of stuff. Lights, geometry. It's like spiral staircase. So that's cool. So yeah, so that's pretty much what you're going to be seeing when you pretty much launch the engine for the first time. And one of the cool parts is you can actually play as well too. If you were to peer up here, this part of the UI, you got a big old like play button, playing the level. So let's actually see. So let's see. I load into the world. It's like, I can move my mouse around. Hey, check it. The actors that I placed in the world, yeah, they're there, just like that. But also we have like this cool little blaster as well too. We ought to walk up to it. Oh shoot, we got it. Can we shoot? Yeah, no, we can't shoot. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, like in engine, when you actually play with this, there is audio in here, but I also know it's not like echoing in the into the screen share as well too and such, but it's very loud. So just trust me on that. But yeah, no, you can shoot. They have like these cool bouncy projectiles, physics actors that you can mess around with, and yeah, no, very like basic stuff, but also like very exciting stuff as well too. So this is pretty much what you're going to be seeing, playing around and mess with if you were to like honestly just go with like the sandbox approach. So there's that actually. Okay, but how do you actually code in the engine per se, right, and stuff? And like I said before, you would actually refer to your content browser. And not only that, as I mentioned before, one of the big things that we're going to be covering is actually Blueprint. So yeah, no, let's get into that. So again, if you peer over to your content folders and stuff, like what do we have? Like developers, first person, arms, FP weapon, like what are these and stuff? Let's check out the first person's folder. Oh, blueprints. All right, let's check that out. And yeah, no, this is actually where you're gonna start seeing the main bulk of like pretty much like game objects in the worlds, and those are going to be referred to mostly as blueprints and such. But as for specifics and stuff, if you were to like say like right click an empty space, you can see more stuff that like you can like create, such as your levels, materials, background, and all that. But again, blueprint classes as well too. If I were to select that, again, it's going to present you like many different options and such. And again, you could take your time to actually like read these to like hopefully get a better idea. Like, what's in like actor class? It's an object that you can place in the world or spawn in the world. A pawn is an actor that can be possessed, like if it has like player input. So like, what if you like have like a character that you want to control like from a third person? You could do that, or even like shoot a character class where it's a type of pawn that has the ability to move, walk around. Controller class and all that stuff. So all like like this complicated stuff. But yeah, no, it's there, and you can actually take the time to read it. Or we can just see like how does it even work to begin with. So I see BP underscore first person character, right? And it's a blueprint class. Double click into that, and then it's gonna pop up this window and tab actually and such. I'm just gonna embed it into here for like convenience sake, but yeah, no, it's gonna do that for your first time. And yeah, no, this is Blueprint. So just a brief overview of what Blueprint is. Blueprint is a visual based like node system for like programming for very fast prototyping and also like for visualization as well too and such, right? The base code it's structured off of is C++. So there are going to be like some like familiar like terminology if you are like experience in that, like if you were to like take a class on it before. But the thing is that to be honest, like you could not know jack anything about like C++. Um, so long as you understand the premise is like if A, then B, then yeah, that's all you need to know to like get started on learning. But yeah, no, this is pretty much how it works. Like this is the stuff that actually makes it work in game. So then like you see like these like little events, event begin play, and what is this like cast player controller and stuff. Like what is this and stuff, right? But if you were to mouse over, they would like give you like a quick snippet, and you can even but they even have comments as well too, which I'll go more over in a bit. Let's see, enhance, action, look. So I'm assuming that like that's how you get it to look around, movement, or even jumping as well too. So yeah. And what's cool about Blueprint actually and stuff, because like again, it's very like plug and play as well too. But the cool thing about it like is that you can actually see your code working live as well too. So for example, let's say like you played a game and then you prompt it up on another window. I'm just gonna try to like organize my windows onto the side here. Try to put one over here as well too. And then let's say in game, again, I'm just gonna play the same actions. I'm gonna just run, pick up, and I can shoot around. But if you can actually view your blueprint comfortably, like say on another window or on the same screen, you can actually debug it as well too. So just again, if you were to look at like the interface, you would mouse over here, no debug object selected. Well, let's pick one. The character that spawned in the world. Okay, cool, nothing happened. But again, let's double check that again. Let's try movement and jumping, because this is what we can't see. Yeah, no, you can see like the nodes animated as well too. And such. So you can get like, again, like a much more like visual understanding of how your code works as well too. So that's like one of like the really cool things about like Blueprint. So like, let's say for example, right? Let's do like everybody's like coder's like number one like first like task ever and stuff like, oh, hello world, right? So then like what? So there's an event called begin play, and this is an event that begins to play like for this actor and stuff. So then they have like these execution pins, right? And you can like drag out of them and stuff. Because when you were to make one, it's gonna start like as an empty like node, and then execution pin, and you can plug in here. So then let's disconnect this for now, and then let's try it. So like event begin play, drag out, and if you let go, it's gonna like show you like a search bar and like a lot of like these things. But we just want to print a string. So then how do I do that? What if I just type print string? Oh, cool. I got a function for that. Yeah, no, I'll print string log. Oh, and it even says hello. Okay, let's plug that in on the upper left. Compile, save is a habit I like to get into, but it should save it for you already. And let's play again, and let's see if anything actually happens. Oh, yeah, on the upper left it says hello. Oh, but like that kind of happened a little too fast, so let's see if we can try to make that last longer. There's a drop-down arrow that you can actually check out. And hey, look, check it, more options. Print to the screen, to the log. Ooh, you can change the text as well too. Let's make magenta. I like magenta. And the duration as well too. So let's say make that last 10 seconds instead. Okay. Compile, press play again. Cool. Hello. In magenta. And it's lasting longer this time. So hopefully you can see that. So yeah, so that's like one of like the many like quick examples of like, being able to like do blueprinting and stuff. So yeah, first task, hello world, right? And I'm actually wanting to show you guys like some more things as well too, like a really quick example. So like for example, right? What if let's try to put like a double jump, right? And stuff. Yeah, because they already have a jump input, and then they have a jump function as well too. It's like very straightforward and stuff. But you can only do like one little jump. So then let's try. What about we try to do a double jump, right? Let's see. Like I want to get to like up here without having to like climb up the ramp. All right, let's try that out. Um, Again, you would make an event. So you would actually right click an empty space and stuff, and you would type in enhance input jump. Oh, by the way, just in case you spell something wrong, nothing pops up. So, this would be a really good like habit to like, spell things correctly, and also keeping track of some of the things that you type. But let's see. Oh, actually, yeah, no, I spelled jump wrong. So let's see. AI. AI underscore jump. Yeah, no, I don't know why it's popping up. But one thing that you can do, right, like context sensitive and stuff, you can actually uncheck that, and hopefully it should show you more options, which unfortunately, oh no, it's IA jump. My bad, my bad. Shoot. But yeah, no, again, you would see like your like input options as well too, which Unreal uses enhanced input actions. That's something new that they're trying to like push forward and stuff. But nonetheless, this is pretty much how you're gonna get your things to work. So like jump, you make your jump, and then let's try to move the node over and stuff. Click, hold, and drag, and you can connect it to other nodes, or again, you can just let go and type and stuff. So it's pretty much just jump now, right? So that's how you would pretty much get started. But then how are we going to do it more than once? Let's see if they have anything like in regards to flow control. So I'm just going to right click. I'm going to make sure I still have like context sensitive. And let's type flow control. And what do they got? Well, for starters, they actually got a lot. But like the first thing is like a branch, right? So if you know your if statements and stuff, yeah, they got those and stuff. And it would look like something like this. Like if the condition is true, spits out true. If it's false, it's that. But I don't think we're gonna need that. What if we have something like a do end? Yeah, they got that. So then a do end and stuff. So it goes in, do an action a certain amount of times, and then like do the action. So then yeah, what if we just like plug this into the middle? Okay, like that. And again, let's try to jump twice. Compile, play, and let's try that again. So I can jump once, but how come it's not letting me jump twice? Huh. I don't know why that's the case, but one thing I do know is that like the action is reading, because again, I can still refer to like the blueprint and I can still see it like being animated. But again, like I don't know why it's not jumping. I know I jumped once and stuff, and I probably pressed it twice more. So yeah. So then let's try to fix that. Actually, let's try to like use a different function instead of like the jump. What if we like try to like launch our character as well too instead? And what did you know it? They have launch character instead. And yeah, no, that's like one of the many things that you're gonna like find out when it comes to like blueprint and like the functions, because there's a lot of functions that they already made, pre-made, and they're honestly kind of like really direct. So it's just a matter of like not only like figuring out, but also like guessing as well too and such, because they do have like say functions that are similar to like that you would see in C++, but they even have like inbuilt functions as well to like launch character. So then, all right, let's try this out. Let's launch our character, let's say a velocity of 1000 and stuff. Let's compile and let's try it again. And hopefully we get a better result. So I'm going to press jump. Whoa, jump again. Whoa, and cool. But we're stuck. We can't jump anymore. Why is that? Well, we're going to need something to actually reset it, right? So they actually have an execution pin where you need to reset it. So then let's say we can jump twice again once we landed. All right, let's right click. And it needs to be some kind of event, right? So let's type event. Oh, they have an event on launched, and they even have an event on landed as well too. Shoot, why not just do that? Do that, plug into here, compile, play again. And actually, let me see if I can try to get like a better view of that. Try again. And yeah, jump and jump. And it resets it. Can I jump again? Yeah, I can. So yeah, boom, double jump. Easy as that. Oh shoot. But yeah, so that's one way to like double jump as well too. And yeah, what else can we do? Let's adjust like the view model of the gun as well too, because the thing is you can actually like see the viewport as well too. So you're gonna have a panel on your left, which is your components and such, and you can open up a window called like viewport. Just in case if it doesn't like pop up, you can just like double click one of the objects and it will actually show you over here. And yeah, no, this is what we look like. That's our camera. These are our mannequin arms, which I had no idea we had arms. And like other stuff as well too, like mesh, character movement component. Let's move this like slightly forward. I want to see like if we can like see these at least. Compile, press play again. Yeah, no, we can see a little bit. And we can even see our like arms when we actually run as well too. So yeah, they even have like animation as well too provided for you, albeit like a little jank. And we can grab the gun as well. Whoa, that doesn't look right. Let's see if we can try to fix that. So like this is where you can even like do adjustments as well too. So then like the things that you actually want to refer to, like yes, you can look in here as well too, because you see like these axes where you can actually like move your meshes. But then you have your details panel over here on the right. And again, you see like location, like rotation. Whoa, like rotation on Z, X, and all that. And so yeah. So then let me see if I can like slightly adjust it. Let's say, oh, let's just slightly rotate on the Z-axis. Do it on there as well too. Press play. Will that make any better? Well, I know that looks weird, but does a gun? Nope. No, you can't. So yeah, so you can make like these hard like guesses, or you can even actually like adjust it in game. So for example, if you're actually being like in a level, like you can still play the game like just as normal. But what you can do is you can actually alt tab out of the game, like get your mouse cursor, and you get detached from the player controller, and you can still view the world like live. So for example, if I were to click it, like the camera were to pops up, I can even like pin it, so I just like don't lose that. But if I like, oh, I actually want to put this thing into like view, maybe, maybe not. And again, like I mentioned before, like the details panel over here and stuff, this is pretty much like what you would be like referring to. Trying to see where's my oh, there it is, my rotation, there it is. So yeah, let me see if I can like fix that a bit. Oh, nope. Okay, but at least that's the idea of it as well too. But yeah, so like you can even like mess around with like the actors as well too. I guess like one last example I can actually like show off of like what else can we do, because we have like a double jump, we can grab our gun, but yeah, our like view models is still like a little scuffed. Let me just like fix that real quick. Maybe shove it back a little bit back. Maybe there was a reason why. What if we can like do a zoom? Because again, we have a gun, but like let's try to like do like an aim, right, and stuff. Like aim a little closer. So we're gonna have to do something like a little fresh, actually. So again, they have enhanced input actions and stuff, which is their new way of handling input systems. And this is essentially how you would do it. So you'll go back to like your world, your like worldview. You'll go to your contents, right? And let's look around. Let's go back to FPS. They have a folder for inputs, and they even have input actions and like the input mapping context. So this is stuff that you're definitely going to look up for, but I'm just going to like breeze right through it and pretty much show you. So yeah, they have like these classes, like the different actions, and let's try to make a new one. Let's right click, go to input actions. Yeah, let's just try to like copy one to one. So let's, and even our naming convention as well too. So IA underscore, let's call it zoom. Let's open that up. And all right, and we got like these different modifiers here and stuff. The booleans, like, you know, like true or false, float, 2Ds. Oh, cool. They even have like modifiers as well too. Coordinate actions, combos, hold. Yeah, no, they got a lot. But let's just save that for like some other time, and let's just like save this for now. Let's go back to inputs, to the folders, and let's go back to, let's try this one out. Because over here, this was what have all of our actions, like our jump, our move to, our look. Yeah, you see, yeah, space bar, the gamepad button, and all that. So then let's try to add a new one. Let's see if we can try to add the one that we just made. So this little like bar right here, let's click that down. And hey, look, it's jump. Oh wait, no, sorry, not jump. Zoom. Zoom is what we're trying to do. So let's try to click that. And then let's just make that right mouse button. Why not? So you can click that and you can press whatever button, or you can even like search it as well too, like say like, oh, like gamepad, like left mouse button, like, so you could do that as well too if you want. And for like triggers and modifiers, now just 1 second. All right, just double check my notes. Okay, so we have like triggers, right? Pretty much what actually makes the input action actually happen. So let's try to add an element over here. And again, like I showed you before, right? Like we had like a lot of options, like coordinate actions, combo, hold down, well, what if we just need to like just press hold, right? Like, we hold, like, right click to zoom, and then we release it, and it just unzooms. All right, let's just save that. Go back to our blueprint character, and let's see if that gets picked up, right? So then, again, let's right click. Is it input action? So IA underscore, oh, cool, I remembered. And zoom, it just shows up right here. It's cool, the same thing as well, too. So then how am I gonna actually get it to zoom? So we have the camera over here. So this is how we primarily see. And then we have like a lot of details over here. This is the field of view. Also, let's see if we can try to like modify that. So then what you can do is you can actually like mouse over like your components, drag it over to here, and again, you're gonna actually have like these nodes or like variables. You could drag off, and let's see if we can set the FOV. So set field of view, and you can. And you can even put an input as well too, which takes like a float. So let's say, oh, what if we just like set this to like a lower value? Let's say like 70, right? And then seeing how like it's connected to triggered, let's try to connect ours to triggered as well too. Do that, compile, save, play it, and let's see if it works. Okay, I'm gonna right click, and nothing's happening. Why is that? And I can also see is like it's not firing off in here as well too. So I wonder what's going on here. All right, right mouse button, yeah. Let's see. What about some of these other pins? Let me actually try started as well too. Let me just compile. Let's say we get the started instead of like the triggered as well too. Oh, there we go. Yeah, cool. Let me just restart that again, just in case that was like too fast. Connect the pins to started, press play, and you can see like my gameplay. If I were to right click, it should set the field of view to 70. And there we go. Now we can see 70 FOV, but we're kind of just like stuck like this, right? We can't really like go back. So then what if like on cancel, like we just like reset the FOV. So what was it? It was like 90. Let's try to copy the function over here. Oh, by the way, you can select it. You can do Control C, Control V for like shortcut keys to like copy and paste and stuff. So I like to imagine that's like pretty common. Let's attach this node into the target because again, it was like untargeted and stuff. But the thing is, the target is the camera component, and we're gonna kind of need that if we want to change it. So let's connect that to the target as well too. And let's try to put it either on completed. And let's reset that back to 90. All right, compile. Let's try that again. And let's try to zoom. Right click. I can see 70. I right click. Oh, I'm back to normal. Or sorry, I thought. Yeah, I know. You actually have to connect one more function if you still wanted to get it to work. So let's see if we can try to connect it on cancel to see if we can get it like working like reliably. I can zoom. I can unzoom. And yeah, no, we're set. But this is kind of like a little like binary because it's not like a straight, not like a straight zoom and stuff. It's not like really smooth. It's kind of like jittery, but hey, it kind of gets the job done. But one cool thing that you can actually do is that I'm going to show like this one last trick before I wrap up like the workshop is that you can actually, again, you can actually make this more smooth. So it's not as like simple and stuff. You can actually do some pretty complex stuff. So let me actually like go off like the rails and let me show you something. Again, right click. And what we can do, we can add a timeline. So let me just add timeline. And let's call this the zoom timeline. And this is something that plays over time. So then let's connect our nodes again. So, oh, by the way, to disconnect a node and stuff, you press Alt, you mouse over, and then you just click on either like the execution pin or the line, and that just disconnects it, just in case I forget. So let's try to connect that to play. And let's connect this on reverse as well too. If we double click that, it will open up another window, and then you're gonna see this. Let's add a track. Let's try to add a float track. Let's call this the zoom track. And then let's put some like points on here as well. Right click, you can add a key float, right? And you could like set it a time and a value as well too. So let's set this in the beginning at 0. And let's give it a value of 90 because that was like our original like point. Let's create another one. Let's set this to, let's set it to 0.5 seconds. Oh, and also let's set the track length to like 0.5 seconds as well too. So let's set that to 0.5. And let's just set that value to say 70. Our points are going to be jumping all over the place, but if you want to get back to view, you can click these two like buttons. So zoom horizontally, zoom vertically, and we got our points back into like view. You can click, hold, and drag, select these two, right click, and oh, you can like do auto. So it like does like an auto curve for you. So it can be like all nice and smooth. So we're done with that. Let's connect the update to set field of view. And let's connect the zoom track to that. Let's delete this other one. Compile. And let's see if that works. So we're in game. Right click. Whoa. We can zoom smoothly now. Yeah, I know. It's like we can go whoop, whoop. Yeah, we can like, now we can like double jump. Oh my god, I forgot about like the 1,000 points. So we can double jump, grab our gun, adjust our gun for better or for worse. And we can even like zoom in as well too. So we can do like a little ADS. And yeah, that's pretty much like, again, like a very introductory like course of like Unreal and like its blueprint system as well too. Again, for like some very fast prototyping and such. There's way more to go over, but I do not have the time to like go over that. So that pretty much concludes like my little workshop of like pretty much again navigating the engine of like the important things to look for, like content browsers and the classes, to like actually like doing some code, which took no time at all and stuff like printing strings, like flow control of like doing a double jump. Let me actually just set this to 200 instead. And even like doing like a little zoom feature as well too. But the thing is that like if you want to dive more into like Unreal, but if you also want to like dive into more like blueprint specific as well too, because don't get me wrong, C++ is like very powerful and all, but you can still do a lot actually. Because like I mentioned before, that I've been like independently like studying like Unreal for like 4 years straight, and I'm still like ever learning, while also trying to apply programming principles as well too. For example, if you're familiar with like parent-child classes and like that hierarchy and stuff, you can actually do that. So like say you right-click like a blueprint class, and it gives you like like options like create a child blueprint class. So you can create a child of the parent and stuff. So like for example, what if you want to make like a bunch of different guns, right, and stuff? But you don't want to like copy and paste the code all the time. So then you're gonna need to like make like a master like parent gun that has all the like functions that you need, like shoot, aim, and like reload, and that's it. And then all you gotta do is like make a child class, and then you can like and then you can make like modifiers to it. Like, oh, I want this child gun to be like a machine gun, and then oh, I want to make another one to make a shotgun and stuff. And the thing is, you don't have to copy over like the same shooting mechanics and stuff, because again, it's all gonna inherit from the parent class. So again, if you're familiar with that premise, you can do that. And not only that, there's even like way more like advanced stuff as well too. Like they even have enumerations as well too. What if you want to like make different states for your character, right? Like say you want to make like a more complex game. Like, oh, I need to make sure like my character can like know which state it's in, like an idle, running, talking state and stuff. You can do that. So you can make like enumerations, which is just a list of like arbitrary names. So like again, like so like idle, make another one, run, and all that stuff. So yeah, so again, that's just like the tip of the iceberg, but there's so much more that you can do. The last thing I do want to mention is that like this is gonna bleed into like my next part that I'm gonna like mention. Is that if anybody ever asks the question, it's like, oh yeah, like I know Unreal's like known for like their graphics and like like very intense engine and stuff, like for 3D meshes and objects and stuff, because like real time lighting, right? Because if you were to move an object in the old version, you would get like an error message, like, oh, you need to rebake the lightings. But no, it's like with Unreal 5 now, it's like real time. Because look, like check it, you can go like, yeah, no, so like that's pretty cool and stuff. But can you make a 2D game? Is the thing, right? Because just in case if you're like that curious, you can. You actually can, but that's an asterisk. But that's kind of like with an asterisk as well too, because Unreal still provides that as well too. If you were to right click and stuff, yeah, I know they even have stuff for like Paper 2D, which is their like plugin, and also the terms that they use to refer to like 2D objects, like say sprites. Yeah, like check it, like they have like sprites, tile maps, flip books, which is like animations that you can do and stuff. So yeah, so that could be like another like again rabbit hole that you can discover as well too. Although granted, it may not be as like well documented as like say like the 3D stuff, because again, the main mojo of Unreal is like 3D like environments. But if you really like the tools and the platform and stuff, um you can still use it if you want, so long as like you just know where to look for and stuff. So yeah, that's all I pretty much want to mention. So yeah, so with that mention and stuff, all right. So that's how you use the engine, and that pretty much concludes my little workshop. The last thing I do want to mention is like some little plugs here and there and stuff. So like, okay, so you use the engine and stuff, but like, what have you actually like made and stuff? As I mentioned before, yeah, no, I actually made like a few games here and there like in my past, and again they actually like have variety to them as well too. Like one of my like very first projects that I made at a workshop, summer workshop, is a survival game with stylized like graphics that featured like a semi-realistic rabbit character that I worked on like a team as well too. And it's a game where you like explore uh, like a pre-generated like world where you can like run, jump, climb things, and you can even like craft as well too. And you got like little like UI elements for like hunger, stamina, and health and such. So yeah, so those are like some of like projects I made. I even made like an FPS shooter as well too, because that's kind of like my jam when it comes to like game genres. Like, oh, what kind of games do you like? Like FPS. So like that's me. It's a so yeah, I made like this like Doom like FPS game for like another like summer workshop as well with like some friends. And I even made again, like I mentioned before, like 2D games and stuff. Yeah, you could totally do it because like one of my like older no not older my more recent projects is that I even made like a blackjack card game just because I like really wanted to and stuff. So yeah, where you can like play blackjack, like bet and stuff, score high, score low, but more importantly, you can even like chat with like say the dealer as well too. So it's like a combination of a poker visual novel game. So that was like my most recent game that I made. So yeah, so those are some of the games that I made. You could totally check it out if I remember to like put in like a link, uh, either to like my itch.io or my portfolio. But yeah, no, so that's pretty much what I've been doing and stuff. Um, so yeah, with that said, pretty much that concludes like my little workshop for here for Unreal Engine 5. And if you guys have any questions and or comments, feel free to let me know. I'm pretty much all ears until, the time that I have left. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and thank you very much for having me here.
Woo! Thank you, Nate.
Woo! I hope all that was seen and comfortable to watch. Just in case I went too fast. So yeah. Any questions? Any comments?
Nate, I was wondering, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's up?
Okay, I had a quick question. How do you maintain your blueprints organized? Like, how do you make them
Mm-hmm.
organized, but also don't go like too much into perfection to the point where it's like perfect to the grid? How do you find that balance?
How do I find that balance? So, how I organize like my blueprints is just pretty much figuring out my system. I don't really have anything complex to go over, but at the same time, I do have my own set of rules and stuff. And the way and how I was able to like come up with those rules for like managing my blueprints just goes down to like naming conventions and organizing my folders. Like for example, right? So like the project already do, like the templates already do like a really great job on like like organizing it and stuff. But like a very like one-to-one example of like how would I like organize it? This is what I would like do. I would like make folders. So let's say like again like right click folder, uh, and I will name it like say like main content, right? And stuff because that's gonna be like the main stuff that I'm gonna be focusing on because there's a bunch of other stuff that Unreal provides that I may not need. So I would just make my own folders, like call it main content, and then I would make another subfolder like say for my blueprints. So I'll say it's like okay, my blueprint blueprints folders and stuff, and I'll go from there and stuff. And then this is when like the nitty gritty starts to begin. So like I showed you before, right? Like there's many different like blueprint classes, like say characters, pawns, and actors and stuff. But let's say for the context of FPS games, I want to make an FPS game with like a player and a gun, but I also want to make like a bunch of like children gun as well too and stuff. Like I told you like that example from before. So then again, I will make a folder for like parent classes, and then I'll make another folder for children classes, my spelling because like I'm all over the place. And then again, and then I would make my child classes in here, and then like say like for my guns or maybe even for like characters as well too, because you can do that for characters as well too, or any other object like power ups. And then my parent classes would be in here and stuff. So that's again, so that's how I would essentially organize it in a simple manner, while at the same time not try to like go too overboard. But that's pretty much how I personally handle it.
And how do you
Does that answer your question?
how do you
What's up?
organize like the nodes themselves, like in the actual blueprint?
Ooh, coolio. Yeah, no. So how do I organize them? Yeah, no. So then, so again, like I mentioned before, so like the template actually shows like really good examples and stuff because I actually already have commenting and stuff. But back in the day, they didn't have anything. So then like they wouldn't have, it would literally just look like this, and you have to read them manually and stuff, right? But what you get to do to organize them, right? Uh, for example, this is your event graph. Like again, you can select, move, drag around, and then if you were to press like shortcut commands, like say like C, you could type a comment. So then like, oh, what is this going to be? So like this is going to be my event begin play. So I'm just going to call this my event begin play nodes and stuff. And then stuff like this, like say look, move, jump. Let's say move and jump, right? Like those are like both like movement related nodes. So what I would do is I would like clump them together, and I would just make a comment. I was just like movement functions, because that's essentially what they are. And then like so on and so on, right? So like I'll have like a block over here called movement functions, and then let's say I have like another block over here that says like shooting. So like shooting and stuff. Sorry if like zoomed out really far, but again, like they have options like say show bubble when you zoomed out, so you can actually see shooting, or you can actually see like movement functions. And like one last cool thing, unfortunately I don't utilize this a lot, but you can even color code it as well too. If you're that guy that's like color coded and stuff, yeah, like oh, like you can make it green, so like green represents your floats and like your movement, or like you're shooting. Let's say oh, that's gonna be red because you know like red's like a cool color, so that's gonna be your shooting. So yeah, so you can even like color code it as well too. So yeah, so that's just one example of how you can like organize your nodes, and it's a practice I definitely do use. But once you more go into it and stuff, there definitely is an etiquette and like sort of a language to like learn in terms of like getting things to like look neat and also readable as well too. Uh, but I wouldn't stress out about it too much because like so long as you're experimenting and understanding, by all means and stuff, because eventually you're actually gonna have like literal spaghetti code. So eventually you're gonna have like nodes like connect to this, they're gonna connect to that, they're gonna go backwards and stuff, and eventually it's gonna look like a mess because that's like one of the biggest jokes about like Blueprint and stuff, and I love it. It's like the funniest thing ever. But yeah, no, that's how you can organize your nodes and stuff. Again, I really do hope that answers your question though. All right. Anything else? Any other questions?
Any questions, guys? All good. Yeah, I think we're all set then, Nate. So once again, thank you for coming. You did amazing. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys for again allowing me to have a platform and stuff. And again, if you ever want to like, reach out in regards to any like unreal like knowledge or like questions, yeah, no, feel free to hit me up. My name is still circling around like the club, and yeah, I honestly just really love to show off like Unreal to anybody and stuff. So if you're like honestly interested and want to know how to get a project up and going, or even like resources to point to, yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, I'll even try to get a link to like say like tutorial people and stuff, right, in the Unreal space. Like for example, let's say Matthew Wetson and stuff. He's like an OG in the Unreal space and stuff because he does like video series like absolute specifics like oh, how do I like get a constant variable, what's the display like disable like blueprint nodes and stuff. So like this guy's like a total goat. So if you know, you know. So there's people like him, and there's even like other like tutorial peoples as well too that I still kind of look to at this day, like say like Matt Asplin and even like Ryan Laley and stuff. So if you guys want resources as well too to like what are like some like Unreal either like tutorials or even examples as well too to like like go off from, yeah, no, I got you and stuff. So yeah, so definitely some cool people that you'll definitely see around. So yeah. But yeah, no, that's pretty much about it. So yeah. All right. Any last minute things to be aware of? Or is that pretty much about it?
I think we're done for the day. Thank you so much for your time and for your help, Nate.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
For sure.
be uploading this later. If
Mhm.
you guys want to check it out later after it's done. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. And with that, I'll be taking my leave. So y'all enjoy the rest of your days.
All right, likewise. Thank you, and thank you guys for coming. Let's turn on the lights. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay. How do you guys like it?
Yeah, that one is a pretty informative workshop.
Good intro, right?
Yeah, it seems very different from Unity.